Yeah, good evening. I know that part of the expenses that the MPs are allowed during the year are for designated travelers for their trips back and forth to Ottawa. I believe in the last few years, Mel has spent over $120,000 of taxpayers' money taking his wife to Ottawa, while other MPs in the Okanagan Valley have spent very little. Have spent very little on their travel companions. There are many workers in the Okanagan Valley, myself included, that spend over half of every year.
Can't hear you.
away. There are many workers. There are many workers in the Okanagan Valley. There are many workers in the Okanagan Valley, myself included, that spend over 6 months away from home every year, and our employers don't pay for my wife to come and visit me. So my question is, I'd like to know how many taxpayer dollars would you spend annually on your companion travel, and how do you justify it?
Well, I have a lot of experience traveling on taxpayer funded trips because I was an adjudicator on various resource appeal boards. So I've been sent up to Quesnel and to Fort St. John and all over. And many times, because I live in Salmon Arm, it's cheaper to send me in a vehicle than flying me from driving from Salmon Arm to Kelowna and flying me to Quesnel. And I can tell you that those times I'm driving, sometimes my husband comes with me, and I never, ever charge anything for him, any expense, any breakfast, anything like that, because I'm painfully honest. I have, and when I take a cab, I pay the tip out of my pocket, and only the necessary expenses that are related to actually doing my job is what I spend. Now, when I am the MP, I do think there are times when it's appropriate where you're supposed to be joining you on certain occasions. So I'm not going to make an absolute dollar figure, which you seem to be asking for, but I'm very conscious of the privilege that we have to be working for taxpayers and the importance of the tax dollar. Thank you.
When you're an MP and you live in the Okanagan, you do the evil thing, which is you have to fly to Ottawa. There's no other way around it. We try to reduce that footprint. I would fly to Ottawa, and if I have to stay there for 6 weeks, I stay there for 6 weeks. We have internet. We can Skype. We can be in contact with our partners, with our families, and that comes with the job. You're away from it. I'm prepared to sacrifice that for being in Ottawa. My wife stays here. She won't even accept an invitation for me to come out there because it would be a waste of carbon footprint. So we keep it at that. Thank you very much.
I've been with the same woman for 10 years. When we first started dating, I was actually on the highway. Then I started doing project management for construction companies all across Midwestern Canada. I'd be gone for 90 days at a time. They don't pay for the flights. And she never had a reason to be there unless she wanted to see me, so she would drive. I think personally, if you do send me to Ottawa, I'm there to work. There are going to be times, dinners, where there might be an invitation sent out to myself and her for whatever reason. I think in that occasion, I would fly her out, but for the most part, I would just wait until I came home to see her. It's not nothing new to our relationship, and I don't believe that I'm going to Ottawa to be on a holiday. I've been there a few times. I don't know if any of you have. It's a nice city. It's got a lot of museums, but after that, it's just got expensive restaurants and a few hotels. So, thank you. I would probably spend less than 10 grand if I could, to be honest with you.
Thank you. While I appreciate the other candidates' opinions on this, none of them have the experience of knowing what it is to do this job and the work that's entailed. All of my travel expenses are scrutinized by the financial management operations. All of them are within the bylaws set out by the parliamentary budget officer. I made a commitment over 4 years ago and after the election to represent every community and every individual in this riding. This riding is 3 times the size of Prince Edward Island. Just getting around to it over the course of a year is a huge challenge. We have made that commitment. I will come back to this riding as much as possible to attend community events in the evenings, all Saturdays, half of Sunday before we have to get on an airplane and head back, Sunday at noon, so we can get in at 2 a.m. Monday morning to be in the office for 7 a.m. That's a commitment I made to the people of this riding, and I will still commit to that. Communication, you can't do it all by phone and by Skype. You have to meet people face to face. That's the way to represent the riding, and that's what I will continue to do as your member of parliament.
Let the candidates answer.
So, in my case, when I stepped in, and I knew the expectation, and I knew how many days I will have to be in Ottawa. So, if I was too eager to spend more time with family, I wouldn't have stepped in. And I have with BC Nurses Union, which serves more than 47,000 members, I have provincial and executive roles, and I always drive an hour, and then they offer the childcare. I never don't claim. The reason I drive, I take my mom with me and my son, and I wouldn't be, my husband will have to work full time and will have to look after my kids, and I'm not gonna take my daughters out of school or university to go with me to Ottawa unless if there is special ceremony or they have the invitation. So it's the commitments, because even when I'm there in Vancouver or sometime Montreal conferences, when union sends us, I'm always thinking it's my members' dues, it's my members' money, and I'm one of them, and I will be taking same approach. And again, there are commitments and stepping into role. I know how many days I'll have to stay away, so we talked among the family, and that's all set. So it'll be damaging for my daughters too, for missing too many days of school and university. So rest assured that I'll be using the same accountability that I use even at the union level, because it's taxpayers' money. Thanks.